Welcome back to Backroomconvos. I'm your host at the most, Lesego M, report, aka Shoot Your Shot, and maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy like Cairo. I know this episode was supposed to be released earlier on. I'd like to apologize to everybody who's a fan of this podcast. I appreciate you lots, man. I'm very sick, I'm very sick, and this episode was supposed to air earlier on around 3, but it didn't. It's 30 minutes later now, and we still haven't released the episode, But I'd like to apologize, for those of you expecting this earlier. No, now it's a bit late though. But nonetheless, man, I appreciate you being there. Appreciate you being the fan of the podcast like you are. And I'll keep on pushing, man. You know what I mean? So I was supposed to be sleeping because I'm bad. Like it's very, very, very bad for me. The flu is, because it's like early stages. So, so a lot is going on. I'm a bit dizzy, there's just a lot in here that's going on. It's just by luck that even in this minute I'm able to wake up and sit on the chair, put on the earphones and rock this episode, you know what I mean? And even if this episode, it's not as long as I want it to be, but the fact that I showed up, to me, it means a lot. For the fact that I didn't let this day go by without releasing an episode, for me, that shows what I deserve to give me a pat on the back, you know what I mean? Me a pat on the back. So I really appreciate myself, appreciate the listeners. Please also don't forget to follow, like, comment to get a notification for each and every time we drop a new episode. I'm your host with the most, Lesego M, report, aka Shoot Your Shot, and maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy like Cairo. The song of the day is Immortal, meaning car in English, by Tugzin. This is Tugzin's here for those of you who don't know. Tugzin is the same guy who released the track Iblani. I think it's the part of the same album Permanent Music 3, which was released 2023, alongside the song of the day, which is Immortal. When you translate it to English, it's car. So Tugzin has been doing a lot lately, and shout out to everybody. Shout out to the nigga guys as well. I know what I did say, but Rihanna also gave them a shout out to that song, because that song is very much nice. It took us through half of the year before Tugzin pulled up, So shout out to everybody. Sunday, it's the 31st. We'll see which song breaks the year, you know what I mean? I'm interested to see that. So yeah, for those of you who want to know the numbers behind Immortal, Tugzin, which was a part of the album Permanent Music 3, which was released 2023, the song is 6 minutes 19 seconds long. On Spotify alone, it sits at 1.2 million, which is quite good, So I'm just surprised with it. A lot of people are talking about Tugzin and they don't know the face of Tugzin. For one, I don't know the face of Tugzin. I would lie. I just only know the songs, and I know the cover art of Permanent Music 3. I see someone on the cover art. I'm not sure if that's Tugzin. And is the Tugzin who was being interviewed by McG the same Tugzin that I'm seeing on the cover art? Because that one who was being interviewed by McG had locks on his head. I think he had dreadlocks. So I'm like, okay, so this must be maybe someone he was working with, because I know Zaba was also a part of this album. Styles was also a part of this album. So I'm like, okay, because even Tugzin, oh, so this is Tugzin, but I swear to God, okay, I see the picture now, but I swear to you, I'd really passed Tugzin in the mall, not knowing who to Tugzin, you know what I mean? He's not known, or I don't know if he's that social person. Seems like an inside social person, because if it was somebody else, he would have wanted people to know, okay, this is my song, this is, take every interviews that's out there. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, I don't know. I'm not a follower, he's still new. I still listen to the songs that he drops. He hasn't got me hooked to a point where I'm like, I'm ready to find out where he's from, or the behind or the background story of relatives, and I haven't got to that point as yet, you know what I mean? So yeah, man, I know I'm feeling a bit shitty today, but how's your day? With everything that's happening, everything is moving fast. Where's the January salary? Do you still have it? Salary. Do you still have your January salary? But the fact that, I was thinking about this today in the morning. People who work in jobs in retail, petrol attendants, they don't earn much, you know what I mean? And some of the people in retail, I know for a fact, they don't get bonuses, you know what I mean? So the salaries that they get from year 15, it's supposed to last them till the following year 25. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, bro, like something has to be done with that, And I know like there's certain companies with, certain CEOs who like, if you don't want this, you can leave this job. Boom, boom, boom. A lot can happen. I'm so sorry, I was drinking something, my mates here. So a lot can happen, So I know, like, one, I was working for a company that's that way. With even the COVID thingy, the injections, I got an injection because I was forced to it, and I was like, I was led to believe even that if I don't take that injection, I might lose my job. So I do understand, but there are those companies for sure. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, do let me know, how do you make it, bro? Like, how do you make it? Like, this calls for debt. You're always in debt because you're living from paycheck to paycheck, you understand? Living from hand to mouth. There's not much you can do with that money that you're getting there, you know what I mean? So, like, it's so sad, man. And given the state of our economy, it's so sad to see. For those of you who just joined us, I'm your host with the most, Lesego M report, aka Shoot Your Shot. And maybe you might get a chance to call me daddy, like Karu. Listen, if you're a fan of sports, stay tuned because you might like what we're cooking. On other news, I want us to talk a bit about Travis Scott. He was performing in Rome. I don't know if that clip is recently, and he was being interviewed as well by Jimmy Kimmel, and they were asking him, he was performing his track called Finna. He was performing it in Rome, and the arena was so packed, the arena was packed, bro, and people were saying, like, the entire place was shaking, and people who were outside the arena around, like, Rome, they thought it was an earthquake, Even reports came out to say, like, it was an equivalent of a magnitude of 1.3 earthquake, magnitude of 1.3 of an earthquake. That's how crazy it was in that stadium. And even though, like, this is Travis Scott, and a lot of people are listening to Travis Scott. He has a lot of following, people who enjoy listening to his music. Even the sneakers that he's releasing, that Travis Scott is one of, like, the people who are in, like, the forefront, or, like, has, like, a lot of sales, such as Jordan, and, there's a lot of people who are fan. And at some point he had the McDonald's burger that had a Travis. Is it a Travis toy? I'm so sorry for that. Is it a Travis toy or what? I don't know, but I know he had a deal with McD. It's Travis Scott. And at some point I think I was led to believe the reason Travis Scott is big is because of the Kardashians, But still went out of the Kardashians, or the shade of the Kardashians, who still did good for himself, It just goes to show you, like, the Kardashians had nothing to do with who Travis is as an artist. And the track, man, that's brilliant, man. I don't know if there was any other artist who was able to perform their song and was able to generate such 1.3 magnitude of earthquake. They thought it's equivalent to that 1.3 multitude. That's the equivalent of an earthquake, equivalent of an earthquake. So people were like, damn, like, I was also like, what? So he was performing that song, and people, like, it's a stampede. You remember there was a time where even people passed away because of a stampede or being stepped on the show, Travis Scott show, and some got injured. that's how crazy it gets in his shows, because you know what I mean. So at some, I think I was a bit shocked. Now that I talk about it and talking to you guys, I realized actually this is not surprising. Like even before people wanted to cancel him, and for him to pay whatever amount to their families who got, for him continuing and promoting Don Tony when someone was running out of air in the crowd and he didn't stop the show, and did to him suffocating in a way. I don't know if that's the story, but I think the story is along those lines. You know what I mean? So that alone goes to show he has a huge following. So speaking on music, Travis Scott, rappers, I want to speak about another amazing rapper who's hardworking and who's a lyricist at heart, man. Shout out to J. Cole. I've been shouting him out this week. I think it's the second time, for I think tomorrow. I don't remember yesterday what I was shouting him out for, but I think it's for the same song Secret Recipe. And today it's the song Secret Recipe Complex. They gave him Verse of the Year for the verse in Secret Recipe, which features Lil Yachty. And even Lil Yachty wasn't bad in that. A lot of people, like I said yesterday, they did say he sounds more like Andre 3000. They say, oh, this guy sounds like Andre 3000 in that. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, okay, this does make sense here for him to get it. Oh, we were reading out the Jay-Z list. Now I remember, and Secret Recipe was a part of that list for J. Cole. You know what I mean? So yeah, that happened. And moving right along, I want us to talk about, shout out to him. I don't want to just say, let's move right along with that, but we have to be running out of time. So on other news, man, I was listening to the Joe Biden podcast, and Dr. Umar was a visitor there. And I know, like, Joe Biden has something against Eminem, and he's always been like at the corner or shading him then there. And they were asking Dr. Umar, Eminem is the best rapper of all time, and Dr. Umar is against that. He's like, no, that's crazy. You can't be the best of all time in something. The black culture is, black. He was saying a lot. You can't go to Palestine and be the best of anything there because you would be disrespecting, or the same way white supremacy is not acceptable. White people, boom, boom, boom. A lot of politics he was saying, of which a lot of the things that he said, making sense. We are more accepting of everybody to say, yeah, you can be that. We are able to have conversation with, but as opposed to them, they are not open to let us be a part of whatever they are with it. The land, you can just make an example with land. Would help the land people understand land. They're not, or like the best farmer is, or so certain things that he was saying, they were making sense to a degree, or I agree with them to a degree. But I'm like, but that shouldn't change who we are as human beings, because if we change that, we alter who we are, and we become animals. Because if now we are polar opposite of one another, there will always be something bad to say about the next color or the next race, you know what I mean? Of which I don't think that's the way to go, even though I agree, but then that's not the way to go. And a lot of people won't support someone against, and someone like, hey, we gotta leave this guy in 2013, we can't be going with him in 2014, because he has a lot of opinion, and he's strong. He firmly believes in what he believes. And on other news, I wanted to read the Washington Examiner, which is a newspaper in Washington. So they released a paper yesterday. It's the day before yesterday, December the 26th, 2023. 3:03 US time. So the article was written by Christopher Halton, who's the technology reporter. So reportedly, they say Tesla robot attacked an engineer and left a trail of blood. That's the report. I didn't read onto the story because I was like, I won't have enough time to read everything on this. But I'm like, oh, this is everybody's fear. And everything is moving fast, Tesla, and I'm like, oh, a lot is happening very quick. This robot, the existence of this robot, or it being taken out, or people can start making orders of this robot, came out in a week or two ago. When I first saw this robot, the Tesla robot, it was a week or two ago, if I'm not mistaken. And today it's attacking engineers, and I think it's still work in progress. Like the Tesla truck, the Cybertruck, it took time. I think given these results, they need to go back to the drawing board, and because this is inevitable, bro. Like, if Elon is not the one who's in the forefront of these robots or the future, or don't, someone else will come with the same strategy and do the same thing regardless. You know what I mean? Because this is the direction that we are taking, So regardless of the movies that we've seen, or the people, or whatever the case may have been, but this is the direction that's being taken, Thank you for listening to this episode. 15 minutes, I think it is. 16 minutes, it is enough. I mean, I've been with you guys for the longest time, and I think on Saturday night, release an episode, you know what I mean? I might release an episode because we are on the road to 100, 100 episodes, and I haven't planned anything special for the 100 episode, and I hope that we do it, have the video podcast for the 100 episode, because why would we celebrate and we don't have a video podcast? But it's worth celebrating that milestone. This episode is a 67th episode, if I'm not mistaken. So this is the 67th episode. It's been one hell of a journey. Enjoyed it, and it has the ups and downs, and today it's one of those not so good moments, but I still need to wake up and release one of the best episodes ever. Nobody is getting sick, if that's what you're wondering. He went to work and he might get people sick. Nobody's getting sick because I'm alone. I'm alone. I'm recording alone. I'm doing everything by myself. Graphic design myself. There's a lot of things that I do myself that even people might think, there's people behind the blogs, there's people behind the graphics, people who edit sound, people who give me the script for the show, the research, whatever I'm doing now, a lot of people can do. We can break it down, so a lot of people can do. But this is the early stages, the building phase, where everything that is for the podcast I have to do myself, but with time we'll get to a point where we hire people, fact checkers, even we have more guests, and I don't have to multitask some of these things, but it's been good. I'm putting my 10,000 hours. I'm getting good at presenting, and maybe something I might do radio. Who knows, just to try it out, just to be what do you think? Do you think I should try on radio, or because I was thinking, okay, we can do radio, but how do you apply the process? And I'm there's still the process part, I think. But I was tempted to ask some lady who works in UT, in VUT. I don't know if she's a radio presenter, or she's a content creator and user reader, but I don't think she's a user reader, because once I've seen her, when they were reading out the news, and she was they're just talking to in TikTok, but for whatever reason, I was tempted to ask her, to say, what does it take? I think at 10 episodes back, 10 episodes back, I did say, I was listening to the VUT, and I was I actually can do this, I believe in myself. The confidence that I have, guys, it's beyond. I do have a lot of confidence in myself. So if that opportunity comes well along, as long as it doesn't trump what we're doing as a podcast and the guest and everything, it doesn't hinder us from doing that, I think I would do it. Do you think I should be taking that opportunity if it comes my way? Do that. Let me know on the comment section. I'm your host, the most Lesego M, that you are the board, aka Shoot Your Shot, and maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy like Carlo. So yeah, we've reached that segment of the show where I'll let you know of the book of the day, right? So the book of the day is by David Allen. Guess the name of the book? Getting Things Done, The Art of Stress-Free Productivity. David Allen, Getting Things Done, The Art of Stress-Free Productivity. Lately, Nami, I'm slacking. I should be doing a lot of things, but hey, I am struggling. But, I need to change the way I think, and, there's that part of it that I also need to call myself into order and fix that part. So back to the book. The book was originally published in 2001 by, I don't know if it's proper if we give out the publisher, but it was released 2001. Author David Allen, as I said. The genre is self-help book. For those of you who've read this book, do let me know what you think of this book, if it's worth the time to read. The book is 267 pages rather. For those of you who enjoyed this book, there's a bit of reviews here. Even David actually responded onto this, So the comment from the audience, it said, I learned a thing or two from that made things better for me. But all in all, I think he wanted to say all in all, for the cost and time of my company spent for me to participate, I thought I was wasting time. So I'm reading the comment, and time is moving. So okay, I thought I was wasting time, and I thought I was wasting my time. My time is money to me and my company. The owner of my company does it, and I think that's great. And it's great for a small business owner, an entrepreneur for himself, but not for me as I'm high-level sales. For a sales professional, consultant, VP of marketing, it said, who is responsible for billing while managing a large amount of data. This is someone's review. Manage a pipeline of full sales opportunities, responsible for generating revenue to make a monthly goal. It's a huge waste of time if you use CPRM system and not Outlook. They tell you that they can help on consulting you on that which is off the grid or their system. So in short, I don't know what this person is saying. If your producer with a company look at sales system used to make progress and log activity, which almost all do, this is not your solution, and they tell you, I can only coach you on our program. If this doesn't fit your needs, they will ignore that. Also, the review every Friday for me took 8 hours in my sales. I can't afford to take that much time every week to review plus publish and consult. Of constant interruption and productivity did not increase enough for me to justify such. This program is effective and serves its purpose, but it's for a narrow audience, not for the population at large. I'm just looking at this from 30,000 feet. Okay. This is. I think I don't need to read David's response. Let me just read a bit about what David said. He was saying, one of a handful of books that I often referred back to. He talks about becoming an organized is not running with scissors. In other words, just picking up one thing and start to work with it and integrate it into your life is not risky and will make a positive difference. I read a few of other reviews that seem to indicate the book was either common sense or over the top. I highly recommend it and am advised specifically for people like me. I'd read that, a bit of that, so do let me know what you think of the book. So the name of the book is Getting Things Done by David Allen. The book is 267 pages long. It was released 2001. Do have a lovely day. I'm your host at the most, Lesego M. Daddy Waddy Port. Hey, what? Hey, like I forgot my own thing. I'm your host with the most, Lesego M. Daddy Waddy Port, aka future short and maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy like Cairo. Let's meet on another episode tomorrow of Backroom Convos with Lesego M. Goodbye. Cheers. Hey.